What's up, everyone? Welcome to Season 1, Episode 24 of Director Spotlight. This is where we go through the entire filmography of a director, and of course, we are covering the films of Steven Spielberg for Season 1. We are up to the 24th movie in his filmography, a little movie called Munich from 2005. I'm your host, Nate, and I'm joined by my co-host, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
And my other co-host, Evan.
Howdy.
And we're going to be going over this movie now. This is one that is, I would say, pretty underrated in the sense of a lot of people don't really talk about it in Spielberg's like overall filmography, but it's different, underrated in the sense of like, Always. We talked about Always. We already reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
1941, Sugarland Express, movies that people don't really talk about, but also that were like smaller movies. This made some money, but was nominated for quite a bit of awards for nobody to really talk about. So we're going to go over all that. We're going to get everyone's take. I know, Alex, you have never seen this movie before this.
Yeah, I never seen it. No.
And Evan, you have seen this one.
Yes, I've seen this one. Yes.
But less times than Close Encounters. There's no way it's more.
Yes, way less time than Close Encounters. Yeah.
There's no way.
There's no way it's more. It's a beefy movie, 2 hours, 44 minutes. It's not like, it's not a casual sit down. You got to want to watch it.
You know what was really hard for me? Because we sat down and we did this, right? 2 hours and 43. And then we did Mission Impossible. Right, and that was like another 2 hours, 43.
2 hours,
49. I was like, oh my God.
6 hours.
6
hours.
So
did you do Munich first, then Mission Impossible?
No, I did Munich last night when I was talking to you, remember?
yeah, but which one? So did you do Mission Impossible like first?
I did yesterday. I did it yesterday in the afternoon. I did Mission, and then I couldn't do it back to back.
I separated them.
I
watched Mission
I had to
Friday,
separate.
And
when I saw 243, I went, oh no.
They were both long. But anyway, let's get into some numbers. This one was kind of hard to find fun facts for. But I got
the topic of the movie is not really like a jolly good fun fact kind of movie.
Yeah. But even like there wasn't a lot on like the production. Usually like I could find some stuff like, they've, filmed with these cameras and this look. It was tough, but I found some stuff, so we'll go over it. And I did watch this on Blu-ray, and they did have an introduction with Spielberg where he talks a little bit about it, so that was pretty neat. But anyway, this movie, of course, came out in 2005. It was his second film in 2005, and it was released at the end of the year around Christmas time, December 23rd, 2005. This had a $70 million budget, and it made a box office of $131 million worldwide. This has a 79% critic score, an 83% audience score, so pretty well reviewed across the board. This was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Director, Best Picture, Best Score, and then 2 other like technical ones. But the fact that this was a Best Picture nominee and a Best Director nomination for Spielberg, and still like, again, not a really much talked about film. It did not win any of them. Obviously, a lot of people felt this was the year. It was a pretty weak year. Not that this is a weak film, but Crash won Best Picture that year, and that's a notorious, like, horrible winner. This and Brokeback Mountain were most people's sort of actual favorites, but Crash won. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, now, as far as the information I got here, so this is based on a book from 1984 called Vengeance by George Jonas, an account of Mossad assassinations following the Munich massacre. The film made $131 million worldwide, but only $47 million in the United States, making it one of Spielberg's lowest grossing films domestically. In 2017, though, the film was named the 16th best film of the 21st century so far by the New York Times. So again, critically, well-liked. Awards, well-liked. Money, Americans did not really turn out to see this one. Also, to Evan's point earlier, this came out at Christmas time. There's no way. I did see this in the theater, but I'm pretty sure I waited till like January. Yeah, like there's not a Christmas movie by any means.
No.
And it's usually not the fare you're going to see like at Christmas time.
And this is the time where like December has 2 like trajectories. It's movies that you want to see in December and then movies that are going for the Oscar, like the award seasons, right? So it has to be released at a certain time for it to be nominated. So I think for me, I think it was definitely like New Year's when I saw it in the theater. It was not around like Christmas time per se, but
I definitely saw this in 2006. I definitely saw it. But I did see it at the theater. But yeah, subject matter wise, it definitely was released then for the awards consideration, not so much for the Christmas spirit. Now, although Munich, this film, is a work of fiction, it describes many actual events and figures from the early 1970s. On the Israeli side, Prime Minister Golda Meir, I think is how you pronounce it, is depicted in the film. She's that old lady who they talked to at the house. She was the Prime Minister of Israel. And other military and political leaders, such as Attorney General Meir Shamgar, Mossad Chief, I don't know how to pronounce this name. It's just ZVI. I don't know how you say that. And then the last name is Zamir. And then Amen Chief Aaron Yariv are also depicted. Spielberg tried to make the depiction of the hostage taking and killing of the Israeli athletes historically authentic. Unlike an earlier film, 21 Hours at Munich, Spielberg's film depicts the shooting of all the Israeli athletes, which according to the autopsies was accurate. In addition, the film uses actual news clips that was shot during that hostage situation. So apparently from what I gathered, and this is part of the little intro too from Spielberg and from what I read, the book this is based on, he says it was never proven wrong, but a lot of people dispute it and say, oh, it happened differently, or oh, it maybe didn't happen like this, but also never came out and said what really, like, didn't give any alternate accounts hardcore. From everything I found, it's mostly just people saying, no, that's not right. You had like former Mossad agents saying it wouldn't have been like this. One of the big things was that this movie is based on a team of like 5 guys, whereas in real life, this would have been carried out by many other. It would have been a bigger team. It wasn't like one team doing everything. It was multiple groups of people. The true parts are all these people did die. A lot of the people, like, they were murdered and all this kind of stuff. The people responsible for the massacre. Obviously, the shootings really happened. The hostage situation, all that is fact. That's not can't debate it. So anyway, that's why it does note that it's a work of fiction, because a lot of this stuff is unproven. And obviously when you're getting into spy stuff, it's kind of hard. They're not going to be like, yes, we ran these operations exactly like this, because that would kind of ruin things. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say that it's, I watched the intro to the Spielberg's intro too. It was like, until papers are declassified, we're not going to know at all what truly happened. We just know that these people died, and here are some key players that were part of that. That's not undisputed. It's more the small detail. Did this guy, like, I think I was did one guy die from a bomb underneath the table versus inside the phone? I mean, like, we're talking like stupid stuff, like those type of details that they're like arguing over, but we don't know because we don't have the declassified papers or ever will. So Spielberg took and said, that's where I took my liberties to tell a story.
Right. So this is a story at the end of the day with true things in it. Not unlike a lot of his other films at this point, honestly, which is fine. I don't need everything. You can watch a documentary if you want to see certain things. This is a film, a dramatic interpretation. So let's get into it, because I'm interested to get everyone's perspective on this. Yeah.
I got one good fun fact I found while you were doing your thing.
Okay.
Real life connection. Ooh. I hope I said his last name right. Guri, right? Guri.
Guri, I guess.
Guri, yeah. Right? Guri Weinberg, right? W-E-I-N Berg. Weinberg, right? Weinberg, right? Guri Weinberg, who played the role of his own father in the film. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Do you know which one? He's the one that gets shot in the mouth.
Yeah, he's the Iranian, the Israel's wrestling coach, killed in the massacre. He was 1 month old when his father was murdered. So he played his father in the film.
Right.
That's actually pretty interesting. And the movie wasn't even filmed in Munich. It was filmed in Budapest, Hungary, whatever. Yeah. And then some scenes were shot in Malta.
Oh, Malta. Yeah, that's a big, they shoot a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones filmed a bunch there.
Yeah. And Steven Spielberg, they said this is the only film that he did not participate in interviews or promotions at all. He didn't do none of that for this movie.
Here it is. Watch it or don't. I don't want to talk about it.
Misa don't care.
Yeah.
He did stuff for like the behind the scenes and stuff, but promotionally, it wasn't doing the press tour, going to Jay Leno talking about go see Munich.
Yeah. And then of course they said that this film was directly after finishing War of the Worlds, which we covered in the last film, he immediately jumped into the production of this movie. So it was like right into
which
it.
happens with all of his 2-movie years, if you think about it. Like the Jurassic Park thing was the same thing. Like literally finished shooting it, went right to Schindler's List. I mean, if you're going to release 2 movies in 1 year, you kind of have to you don't got time to take a break. So now he will have a break after this because I won't say what yet, but the next movie doesn't come out till 2008. So he took a little break after shooting all this stuff. So let's get into it. Alex, we're actually going to go to you first because you've never seen it. And so I want to see, this was one I was interested to get your take, to see what you thought about it. So go ahead. What is your thoughts on Munich?
Okay. So this one was hard for me because as a film, I think it's good. As the plot and what the movie's about, I really was kind of bored because I said it best yesterday when I was talking to my wife. I was like, I liked the movie. I thought the movie was really good. The problem is I didn't grow up with these events. Like I didn't connect with it. So like to me, I'm just like, it was hard watch for me because I was kind of bored in certain times because I was like, I didn't live through Munich. I don't know who the hell these people are. So they're telling a story that I don't want to say I didn't care for because it sounds really wrong. But at the end of the day, I didn't care for it because I didn't live through those events. If you did a 9/11,
World War II, but you liked Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, but I don't know because Saving Private Ryan, they put you into the war. So like I felt like I was in it, and then you got to see whatever. But with this, it was so many different point of views. We had the TVs, and then he has a nightmare, and then we're seeing the actual events of what's going on, and then they show actual because I kind of figured those were real shots of what happened when they show the TV clips. Yeah. I kind of figured it was real. I was like, okay, this is the real events, what happened.
Yeah.
And then they're going back and forth, which is weird because again, I couldn't connect with the movie because I didn't live in that moment. Like if you did a 9/11 movie, then I would connect because we live through those events of what happened. Plane 1, plane 2, other planes that crash. So I'm not saying that the movie's horrible. The movie's actually pretty good. It's just for me, I couldn't connect as what Steven wanted me to connect. Like I connect with Schindler's List and I didn't live through the damn Holocaust. Right. So I just think it's story. I don't know. I didn't, there was way too many characters for me to, like, I like Eric Bana, I like as an actor. I know a lot of people don't, but I think he's a very good actor. I thought he was very good. I just couldn't connect. Then I saw my boy Daniel Craig. I thought he was really good in his role. And this is way before his 1 year after 007, I think,
he gets casted for 007 while filming this. He gets the news.
So like he's really good in them. Like everyone played their parts very well. It was just for me, I couldn't connect with the characters. Like I connected with, like I said, Mr. Schindler. I was into it. I got emotional. The story drove me. This one was kind of hard for me to connect because there was just so much stuff going on. It felt kind of mobstery, like the whole assassination style. Like it were very sloppy and stuff. So I kind of liked the way it looked gritty. It was like gritty the way it went. Like they wasn't professionals. Like the guy was like, I disarm bombs. I don't make bombs. And he's yelling at them. I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, I'm not saying funny like I laugh out loud, but there was one point that he was like, is this bomb going to go off? It's going to be really loud. And he was like, no, it should be fine. And the bomb went off and he flew into the wall. And he's like, like, I thought that was funny. But at the end of the day, is it tragic? Yes. I think it was very, tragedy. These guys got their vengeance. But to me, I couldn't just attach to it. I think it's a good movie. I'm not saying I just think it was way too long. That's one of my gripes. I think you could have told this kind of short. It's short. Certain things for me. I just think 2 hours 43 was way too long for me. But I don't know what you guys think. other than that, yeah, I just feel like I wasn't there, so I couldn't be attached to the events. That I guess that's the way. I don't know if I It could be the story for me. I just didn't like the way it was told. But yeah, that's my opinions on it. I don't think it's bad, but actions were good though. I thought they were shot very well. Steven Spielberg did a great job on it. I saw it digitally, so I didn't see it in Blu-ray like you guys.
Did it not have the intro? There's an intro. Okay.
Mm-mm. It just went right into the movie of the massacre in the beginning, like the guys going over the fence. It just went right into that. Yeah. But I would say, because I was asking Evan, there was points that when they were shooting their guns, it was super thin. It was like blap, blap, blap. I was like, what the hell? I was like, these guns sound horrible. I was like, I don't know. But that could be the digital sound.
And then I told them that on mine, I had surround sound, that it was so loud because the rest of the movie's so quiet. Then all of a sudden you get these. But I jumped. I was like, oh, because it was so loud. Oh, so I think it was definitely an encoding issue.
Yeah, it was. It had to be, because I was like, when they were shooting, it sounded like Cracker Jack, like cap, cap, cap. I was like, oh, it sounds bad. Like production guns.
I got texted from my family to maybe turn it down because it was rattling the house. With the explosions. Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Interesting. What? Yeah,
I was going to say, I think I know what Alex is talking about with the story, because I don't know if I'm going next round, but I'm going to talk. I do think.
He said, I don't know if he's going to talk. Just go. Just take it. Go.
Okay. Go ahead. I do agree with what Nate's saying. This story is not tangible through this film in the sense. It's not one of those like, let's take Schindler's List, let's take his war movies, Colored Purple, ones that just deal with where Spielberg is definitely making you feel and tell a story that is through a character lens. You are getting Eric Bana's side, but he's not explaining things. Like, for instance, when they're in that room, that hotel, that like safe house, and then the other group comes in the safe house. And like, unless you know, that's literally their opposing enemy group, that they're now sleeping in the same room together. Like, that's the POL, Palestinians. So that's why, unless you know that ahead of time, you're not going to get that reveal. You're not understanding that. Like, so you definitely have to research it. And I've seen it on repeat viewing, and each time I like gather something different and go, oh, that's where that makes sense. But it's not what I would call a tangible story in a sense of like knowing every little detail of the historical events, where like Saving Private Ryan, where you have like them sitting around describing their feelings about things and stuff like that and trying to get you into that. And we already have a basic understanding of those events. And like you said, I lived through 9/11. So if you make a 9/11 movie, you're not going to have to be explained some of that detail, some of that fears that my son who hasn't lived through 9/11 might need to explain. So I totally get that. But I definitely, my review is, it's a perfect film for the subject matter. I would not cut the length, even though I do know it feels long. But if you cut it length, if you make it shorter, then it turns into a typical spy or action film that will do the story disservice. I think that I don't know what you would cut out in a sense of it without it turning into what you would say a typical Hollywood film on when we deal with these type of topics. And I think that the slowness of this movie, the deep dive into maybe the psychological of what's happened to Eric Bana's character is needed for this topic, because what it's definitely doing, I think it tries to do, I don't always think it does well, is trying to take the balance of, I'm telling you events, I'm not trying to tell you if it was good or bad. Like, we as the audience have to decide, were they in the right to do this, or were they in the wrong to do this? The movie's trying not to do that. That if you make it shorter, especially in 2006, it turns into either an action flick or a typical political thriller. And I think that it was trying to stay away from that. And that's why I think the length is there. Does it feel long? Yes. So it's very hard. It's hard to say. It's one of those movies, like I say, in about a year or two, Alex, I hope you rewatch it because I think it will be a better viewing the second time around. I did not love this movie when I first saw it. I thought I didn't understand it. I was with you. But then when I watched it again and the third time, I've enjoyed it every time I've watched it, if that makes sense. It's one of those slow burns. I think of Tinker Tailor Soldier. Did I say that? Bye. Yeah. If you've seen that movie, especially the Gary Oldman one, like I watched that, I go, I hated that movie. That was so stupid. Didn't even know what that was about. And then my friend said, oh, I love the book. I love the movie. Watch it again. And I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, I got it. And that's another one. It's just one of those long, slow spy movies that you have to be in the right mind to watch it. So it was definitely, but I do enjoy it. I think the acting's great. In it, I think Eric Bana shines. I'm with you. I don't hate Eric Bana. I think he's made some bad choices of movies, but I think he's a good actor. And I like him in this. Jeffrey Rush, small role, but great. Him. I liked him. Like everyone who's in this movie plays their role perfectly. It's one of those Spielbergisms that he could get every performance well, even the smallest character. You're driving it. And I love how he uses subtitles in this movie because sometimes you have the subtitles so you know the conversation, but then he takes away the subtitles and then we kind of get the feeling like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Like, even though you were just seeing the subtitles, he takes it away because now the conversation becomes foreign to us and that adds to the suspense because this is definitely a Hollywood movie where no one of our main characters that will definitely be speaking a foreign language. They all speak English, right? They should be speaking Hebrew or something. They're just speaking English. But there's other foreign language parts that are really good. I like that. I do love the music in this. John Williams did this, right? I forgot off the top of my head.
I did love for best score as well.
Yes, I did like the music in this. And then I also love, once again, there was a scene where I forget, did they do a bomb or something? But they were running out of the building really fast and it was a low camera angle and it was a shaky cam, but you could still see everything. It's like, once again, the War of the Worlds thing. Like, you got that suspense of a shaky cam, but you got to see everything. And it's just a movie that gives you this suspense, this grittiness, but also being able to watch things. So I enjoy it. I say it's a perfect film, perfect for the topic. But it's hard because I do, like, if I was rating it in a Spielberg, was I confused at times? Yes. Does the story not always make sense? Yes. But I think that's kind of the point, that you have to go out and research it a little bit and not just take this as fact. Because we know that as what we do as audience. We watch a movie and we go, that's what really happened. And I think he left some things vague, some things confusing because you had to go look it up. Because he didn't want you to walk away thinking this was thing. So, this one's going to be, I've been wrestling with my score. It's been a very high score to a very low score because each aspect that I try to look at, so I don't know where I'm going to end up, where my score is right now, but I still think it's an important film and I liked it.
Yeah. All right. It's one of those things, like I said, like I figured, I think it's because it's not in the United. I think that's why. Because, like, if you would have did a JFK movie in front of me, I would be more intrigued because that has the conspiracies attached to it. So that you're invested. You're like, oh my God, who shot him? Who's whatever, right? Because we don't know who shot him, but you see it from different. So I think that's what it is. And I think you said it. I mean, you said it the best. You do got to see the research. And I think because this stuff happened out of the United States, that I don't think people like, I mean, if you're a historian, yes, but maybe others don't want to do the research. They just want to see the movie because it's a movie. But yeah, I totally understand though. What you got, Nate?
All right. I think I disagree with both of you because I think this movie is fantastic. I don't have any of the issues you guys have. I don't have with the movie. I see where you're coming from. I just did not have that experience. Even the first time I saw it, and by the way, this movie came out when I was pretty young when this movie came out. Like, I was only 19. So for me seeing it at the theater at that age, yeah, there were definitely things I probably, didn't lock in with because it is a story-driven film and not like an action-driven film, even though there's like little bits of action in it. But even then, I really liked it. Now, the older I've gotten, the more I've liked it. Sort of to Evan's points with subsequent viewings, I think it's great. First of all, I do think this would actually work really good as a TV show, as far as the story, because you could really. I mean, it is long. It's not a short film by any means, but it still feels like stuff's left out. So that's where I'm going to agree with Evan. I don't know what you cut, because if you cut, unless you're cutting like him with his wife or like the birth of the child, which is important for the character, but like, is it necessary for the overarching plot of the revenge of the? Not really, but you got to connect somehow with the guy, right? So, you can't really cut that. So I don't know what you take out, but there's definitely stuff already taken out. You know what I mean? So I think it'd make a good show. I think it'd make a really good show. I think Eric Bana's great. I agree with both of you. Who hates Eric? Who doesn't like it? Maybe because the Hulk. That's the only thing I could think of, because he was in the Hulk and that movie's kind of not that great. But he was good in it. I think he was even good in that movie. I love him in Troy. Yeah. He's great in this.
He was good in Star Trek. He played Nemo or Nino. Or Nemo,
oh yeah, the
Neo, the Romulan.
Nero.
He was Nero. He was the Romulan.
Yeah, he was great in that as the villain.
He was excellent.
Like Eric Bana's great. I really like him. And like you said, you got Daniel Craig early on, who, by the way, this movie's set in the 70s. He looks the most 70s out of everybody in this movie. Does. That haircut they gave him, dude looks like he walks straight out of the 70s. Honestly, he does. I love the period look. I think they did an amazing job. I love the way it's filmed. It has this sort of gritty, film look, but from the 70s. It looks like it was made in the 70s, honestly. So I like that. The cast is great. Ciarán Hinds, Jeffrey Rush. Everybody in it, to Evan's point, is perfectly cast and does their role. The bomb guy, I like him. I like the money guy, who's just constantly like keeping up how much. Which will be in.
He's the bad guy from the second Bond movie with Daniel Craig.
Oh, that's the Dominic Green.
No, not him. Not him. The old guy that's part of the group with them.
He has
like,
a guy.
Yeah.
He's like
Okay, sorry.
Guy, because everyone's like, "What do you do? What do you do? What do you?" And that guy, he's like pretty much the money guy. And then Ciarán Hinds said he worries. That's his job. He's like the old guy who worries. But yeah, I even like that guy. Like, he's sitting at the table, they're all happy, and he's like, that cost us $500,000. So and they're all like, shut up. It doesn't matter. We got to do it. Dominic Green. I don't even know that guy's name. I just know him as stupid Dominic Green from Quantum of Solace. I like that subplot with the thing with the family when he takes him and he doesn't like it. He don't trust him. He knows he's working for a government, but they keep denying it. No. That whole thing adds a little layer of suspense. I feel like the movie got a little bit of everything, especially when you're talking about spy movie, which essentially this is. They're technically not spies, but they are. They're part of Mossad, which is like basically the CIA of Israel, pretty much, or MI6 in England. They're the equivalent, and I think it's great. I love the cast. If I have any negatives, I think I don't have any really big negatives, to be honest. I think it's a great movie. I just think it's a great movie. I've always liked it. I wish they would have. I feel like the beginning. Okay, here's a negative. I feel like the beginning where they actually, like when the American guys help them over the fence and then they break into the thing. I don't love the way that part is told. I wish it was just like an extended sequence all the way through to when they get shot. Because it kind of bounces. Like, they show the shootings when he's on the plane and it's in the window. And he wouldn't have been there. So it's not like he can actually see it. I think that's a little weird. Like, I wish they would have just been one long sequence at the beginning. You know what I mean?
I do get why they were doing it, because for me, it's the telling of that he's getting the information, and that's what he's getting, because we don't, like, he would have not known that, but then he's getting the reports of what actually happened to those people, and he's living it out. And so it's kind of like how he's gathering.
So he's imagining what happened.
It. Yeah,
he's imagining based on the reports. I take it based on as the reports come out, because like we didn't like, that's why it's like they said, hey, that's how they died, because before they said, oh, they just blew up. No, they got shot. Then some blew up because they threw the grenade in the plane. Right. So like,
but I feel like they could have done that. They could have done that without the audience having to do it that way. I don't need to wait. Plus, this happened to Alex's point. At this point, it's like 35 years ago or whatever. So it's like, I wish it was a longer sequence, not like a cold open, but almost like a cold open, right? Where you get this whole thing. I think the impact would have been better.
Way better, yeah,
more effective.
Yeah,
that way.
I totally agree. That happened in Conjuring 2 when she goes into the Amityville horror house and she's walking each room, you see what happens. Yeah. So you're going, oh, okay. So now it's setting you up for that film. This movie, I totally agree with Nate. This movie should have started off with the massacre. Right. So at least people like me, because I didn't know what the hell happened, I would have understood. The guys jumped over the fence. They did the hostage, shot whoever hell. Then you could do it in a condensed way, not the full version where they go into the airport and then blow up and everything. And then I would have been like, oh, okay, now I can see what's happening. Those were confusing because he had the nightmare in the room.
If you take the exact movie how it is, move that back. Even the part where they're getting shot, move it to the front, right? Make it a 15-minute sequence, because it wasn't that long, dude. The actual beginning part's like 7 or 8 minutes. It's not that long, and they don't really show much. Show them breaking in, yelling, and then it starts doing the news clips, and then it starts doing. You could have spliced all it. That's my only gripe. I just wish, they did it that way. I think the impact would have been better. I think because I do agree with Evan. I don't think Spielberg is necessarily telling the audience how to feel or what is right or wrong. He's portraying these events, and even the characters, they struggle with, was this worth doing? Was it not worth doing? Should we be? Which is great. I love that. I love letting you decide, how do I feel about this? However, I do think showing it that way makes those things more impactful, right? To me, that's just my opinion. Like, if I saw that, now I'm going in with a certain mindset, and then let's see how this movie plays out, right? Like, let's see what they do. Well, let's see what the next steps are. Rather than getting it in little pieces, that's just my opinion. That's my only gripe. Other than that, I think the movie's fantastic. I agree. The score is great. I love the look. Janusz Kaminski back as cinematographer. I think they nailed the 70s look, the film quality. This is also one of Spielberg's probably darker movies. And by that, I mean, it's pretty bleak. It is not like there's almost no moments of like triumph and, like happy. Not that, I mean, Schindler's List doesn't either, which is also a bleak movie. But at least at the end, like, that dude just saved a bunch of people and you could be like, wow, that was good. This is kind of like not really that. And
even all happy moments that happen, like when he was walking with his kid at the end, and you're like, oh, we're gonna have, now those two people in the car, now he's paranoid. Like, anytime he gets a chance of happiness, it's ripped from him. Like, it's not, there's no joy in this movie,
which is interesting for a Spielberg movie, because that's not his MO. Yeah. So I kind of like that he went outside the box a little bit with that as well. So I don't know. I think it's a great film. I know a lot of people who really like it. It's not talked about very much. And to Alex's point, you know what? Maybe which is not always the case, especially nowadays, but maybe that sort of international, like, this is not an American story by any means. It did worse domestically than it did overseas. That really could have factored in as well. So I kind of agree with that point. I don't know if like American audiences, but I also think that's a horrible release date for this movie.
December too. Yeah, that's hard.
Christmas, December 23rd. Christmas. Put this out in November if you want it towards the end. Maybe the beginning of December. I think that hurt it, as in the U.S. specifically. Like, a Christmas release is just not. This is not the movie to go see for Christmas time. It's just not. But whatever. Anyway, okay. So that's our thoughts on the film. Now, here's the part we all love. What did Alex give this movie? From his score. I have a number in mind, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait till he says it and then say if I was right or wrong. Alex, what did you score this movie?
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Higher than I thought.
What did
you were
thought?
going to say 4. I thought you were going to say 4.
No, I was thinking.
I was at a 6. I thought he might have gave it a 6.
Okay.
I was thinking of a 4, but at the end of the day, I mean, the movie was pretty good. It was shot really well. It was just the events. Like I said, if I knew the entire thing, and I think like what you said, if it started off with the massacre and I understood what was going on, it would have been a way higher movie, because then I understand why these guys are getting, picked to kill people. Yeah. And why, they got selected. I mean, I got it, but at the end of the day, I didn't real life events. I was like, interesting. But
there was a movie that just came out last year. I forget. It's a date. It's whatever the date of this event that is told by the newscast, the news producer, because he's airing it and then the people are watching it inside, and then he feels guilty. So it's all about the actual event. So maybe watch that movie and then rewatch this and see.
That's
it's
the
like
one with, Peter Sarsgaard is in it.
Yes,
it's called
Munich Vision.
No, it's called. It just came out last year.
It has the date
September 5th is what it's called.
September 5th.
Yeah.
September 5th.
Or it says 2024. I could have sworn it came out last year.
Sometimes it's when they first premiered, like at a film festival, but theatrical, it comes out later.
September 5th was released. January 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, September. Yeah, it's in the same subject matter. Very different style of movie, but same topic. Yeah. All right, so a 5 from Alex. Evan, what do you got?
So, as I was stating, I was thinking about because when I was watching it, comparing it to other Spielberg movies, right? And other war movies, and so that's where I go. But to tell you the truth, when it comes down to historical, political thriller movies that I love, because I love these type of stories. I don't love what happens in the stories, but as a historical person, and it's the scene that I get back that always gets me because it's so disturbing, but so well done. It's when they kill the assassin, the female assassin with that little pipe gun and they go like that tense moment, and then having her truly walk away from those tiny little bullets that they had to use. So it just feels so real, and it's like devastating. And then that guy who we think, the money guy, who we didn't think will kill anyone, he's so pissed because they killed killed their teammate. I was going to say, but I don't know, but killed the teammate. And then he goes, leave her uncovered. Like that where he has become is so well portrayed in this scene of where the three of them and who they are, because the bomb maker didn't go. He's got, this is not who we are. But they're like, no, but this is who we are now. Like that whole thing is just so well done and so real to me. I'm gonna give it the 9.5 that I normally give it. But because I never give it, I never technically rate it in a Spielberg set, but I rate it as a film, and that's where I've had it in the past, is about a 9.5. So I'm gonna keep it that. If it was in the Spielberg thing, I was lowering it to about an 8 and 5, just because of storytelling, some of the weakness of that, the length of it. But really, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it what I originally gave it, as a 9.5.
All right. Well, I have one of your scores as my score. 8.5 is what I got. 8.5 out of 10. I think it's a great film. I think it's well worth your time. If you've never seen this movie, definitely you have a a few hours. If you got 3 hours laying around on a weekend, pop this bad boy in. No, it is a slower paced movie. But there's bits of action. There's violence. This is a very violent movie. Honestly, it is. Very. So a different take from Spielberg in that sense. Not that he hasn't done violence, but most of his movies are PG-13. I think he's done 3 R to this point, right? Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and this. I think that's it as far as rated R from him. So this is one of them. And after this, he doesn't do another rated R movie. So it's his last one. It was 21 years ago at this point. So, yeah. So anyway, that's our thoughts on Munich. Is it underrated? I think so. Or is it maybe just under talked about? Because it seems like people in general like it. So maybe it's just one that a lot of people haven't seen yet.
I just think it's the topic matter. Because Saving Private Ryan, World War II, everyone talks about it. Oh my God, it's amazing. Because that's in the United States. And I think Munich, I believe, is because it's out.
And as we could talk about what's happening in the world right now, in the subject matter, it's still an ongoing topic that no one truly...
relevant even now.
It's very relevant, and it's hard to have a conversation on because it truly, like World War I, Schindler's List, you have a clear, typical storyline bad guy. You have that Nazis. Narrative. The Nazis bad, evil, did evil things. We're out to get them. Like, we don't have that here. We don't have, because even then, what did they do to me? Look at what they did. Like they're having that inner conversation of who's bad, who's evil, or am I allowed to do this? Do I have the justification? So you're not walking away with a Mission Impossible. That's the bad guy, and I can root against him.
Right. Well, yeah, but even still, even one thing that was confusing also is that these guys were getting hit on. Getting hit, they're getting blown up or whatever. And I'm like, who's doing it? Who's going after these people? Because remember, they blew up the bomb maker, and I'm like, okay, so who did that? They didn't.
Well, because they killed. They hinted at it's the Russians because they accidentally killed a Russian.
Right, but I'm just saying, again, if you paying attention to the dialogue, okay, great. But at the end of the day, they were getting attacked from, and then he calls the guy. He goes, "Am I safe? Am I safe?" And then the guy was like, "You are fine." And I'm like, okay, but yeah.
I think the movie's aged well. To your point,
it did.
I think it's aged very well because they set it in the 70s. So
no CGI.
No CGI. It's already set in an old time. But all this stuff geopolitically is still relevant to this day. Palestinians and Israel and all that. So no matter where you kind of fall, the movie is relevant even today, 40, 50 years after all this stuff happened, which I think is good. I think it's good. I always think a movie is great when you could watch it well after it came out and it still fits. You know what I mean? So in that regard, I think it's great now. The next movie we're going to talk about. I am very excited about this next one because one person at this table loves this movie. And two people at this table have seen this movie. And we didn't hate it, but next movie is 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So a very, very different turn from Munich to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, Alex and I we've ranked this on our live stream, and we've also reviewed it on the Action Movie Guys podcast. That was a couple years now. It's been a couple years since we reviewed it for Action Movie Guys. So, I remember, spoiler alert, we didn't hate it as much as Earth, apparently, but I know one other person here who likes this movie quite a bit.
No, that's love is the correct word. That's all I gotta say.
You got a lover of this movie. So we know that Evan likes it, but we've never gotten to hear him review it. So guess what? You're going to get to go first in the next episode. I'm just telling you right now, be prepared to shower the praises upon Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So that'll be the next movie, 2008. Of course, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel or consider subscribing to the channel if you like these videos. We got 10 more. Guys, we're coming to the final third of the filmography. This has been quite the journey. I've enjoyed it. I've loved watching and rewatching all of these movies. So if you like these and if you have any suggestions, we have a director in mind already, but if you have any suggestions for future director spotlight, please let us know in the comments. Let us know, do you like Munich? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? What are your thoughts on it? And give us a thumbs up as well to help the video out. Anyway, that is it. We'll be back next week with our review for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Until then, be awesome to each other.